We are open for questions now, so you guys can unmute yourselves and go ahead with the question, or you can even put it in the chat box since there are a lot of us. You can just put it in the chat box. So what would you like to know? Yeah, so Dibendu has a question. My question: I tried to enter into internship in under any traders, other traders, but most of them are interested in teaching, but not in practical experience. Open to help on free just to gain practical knowledge. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, so whether they're trading or not, we don't really know, right? So yeah, that could be one of the reasons. And yeah, so a lot of them actually make more money from teaching than from trading. So for me personally, I make more money from trading. So teaching is just, I mean, this is going to be my second course, and that also came about because I thought, okay, trading is a lonely profession. Eventually you have to do something where once money is out of the way, then you have to do something which benefits, humanity as such, and you kind of create your own, you give back at the end of the day. So that's why I started. I'm on salary basis. Can I do my best after Indian market time and do well in foreign market, which is favorable to me? Yeah, of course. Now there are you can access, I think, about 3,300 US market stocks where you can place orders and all of that. There are some companies which help you to do that. And after market hours is what we suggest. You can place orders where your entry, your stop loss can be taken care of. So once the stock is entered, the stop loss will also be entered. And you can do that. Absolutely. You don't need to be. That's what I say. I mean, it's a misnomer. It's one of the false notions that people have. Okay, one of the first things that in fact people tell me when they know that I'm a full-time trader. अच्छा, लेकिन आप तो पूरा दिन market के सामने बैठे रहोगे. I do, but that is because I trade very actively. I trade a bank nifty strategy as well, which is on futures. But most people don't need to do that. Most people, I know that they probably have a job or a business, and I also did my trading side by side alongside my business. It's only when I realized, boss, this has tremendous potential and this is actually what I like to do, that I quit my business. I was like, let me just focus on this completely. How to overcome FOMO? That's a great question. So it's you overcome FOMO once you start getting into winning positions regularly. Okay, even then FOMO will still be there. So like this Adani Total Gas, which is 300% return, is not there in my personal portfolio, by the way. Why? Because I was fully invested at that time. This investor, put in an additional amount, which is what enabled me to enter. My stocks I had already, entered and fully, my capital was blocked. So your FOMO will always be there. So even when I look at that stock, I'm like, I wish I had that stock in my portfolio. But you don't know which stock is going to do what. And FOMO is always in hindsight because you don't really know which stock will perform. That is why you enter an X number of stocks so that you give the strategy enough chance to pick these kind of stocks, and they will come to your place. I may not have Adani, but I have others, and which are up 80-100%. So it's also fine. I mean, and Adani, by the way, is up 295% since February. So yeah, so the only way to overcome FOMO is when you have enough other stocks in your portfolio which are doing well. Then the FOMO is reduced. I wouldn't say it disappears, but it's reduced. Hi, is there any direct relation between index up, down with stock price up, down? Yes, there is a not. I wouldn't say there's a direct relationship because a lot of these stocks have performed brilliantly even when the index was actually going down or when it was sideways. But of course, if the index goes down massively, okay, so like for example, if the index goes down, let's say by 10% in in let's say 10 days time or 15 days time, okay, then of course you may have some ripple effect of that in your stocks. If you're already in open positions, they may be down a little bit from the peak, but they may not have triggered your trailing stop loss. If you're in new positions, because I trade with smaller stop losses, my stop loss may be hit on certain trades, but not all of them. So I wouldn't say there's a direct relation. There is some relationship. It all ultimately depends on whether your stocks are actually stronger than the index or not. Remember the trend. So the index may be sideways or in a downtrend, but if your stock is strongly in an uptrend, your stock can go up 20% in a few days. Okay, there have been in the WhatsApp group, Thangamel jewelry and whatnot, where those stocks have gone up and hit upper circuit on the day of entry. Now, after that, whatever may happen to the index is immaterial. Like I said, unless the index massively corrects. and those corrections are rare. I'm not as frequent. So in the long run, it doesn't really matter, because we are focusing on stocks which are stronger than the index. Parth says, thanks for quite a good presentation and sharing your learnings. Other than technical charts, what other things you check, like company business balance sheet or segment? Nothing. So the beauty about technicals is you don't need to check anything else. Your charts are good enough. Okay. And because you are not, see, I'm not investing in the stock for the next 10, 20, 30 years. Although even the investment strategy, we don't really look at, we look at some parameters which are, fundamental. You can look at, the sales growth for the last 3 years, the profit growth for the last 3 years, these kind of things, to just ensure market cap, to ensure that you are not stuck in any bad quality stocks. Those are some basic checks that you can do, but that's only for long-term investing. For trading, you don't need anything.